I finally made it back from Perth, and here's what happened. So last week I was over in Perth for the Money Expo. For those that are unaware, I organise the Money Expos. There are 4 a year that happen in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and this one was the Perth event. So I arrived nice and early on Thursday and managed to catch up with some very dear friends. Special mention to Joel, the History of Money, who I actually conducted an interview with a couple of months ago on this channel. It's always good to see a friendly, familiar face, and also it's really nice. These events provide a really nice opportunity to just catch up with people that are involved in the industry, and it's the kind of thing where in my day-to-day I don't actually get to discuss the numismatic industry a great deal with a lot of people. So these events are a really nice way to keep in touch with all of those people, particularly interstate people that you don't always get to catch up with. So it was a very nice Thursday night to have a good catch up and discuss the current state of the industry. And both of us are very excited and optimistic about the future moving forward. On to Friday, the dreaded setup. I love the Money Expos, but the setups are a killer. There are so many aspects to setting up an event, and I must confess that prior to taking on this role, I always just had a bit of a naive view and thought, it's just a couple of tables in a hall. How hard could it be? But let me tell you, there are many more moving parts, and particularly for these events when you have PA hire, additional tables and chairs. I was very fortunate, and I am forever grateful to my dear friends Aaron and Keith. We also had another helper named T who was helping with the setup of this particular event. So that's something that I've really enjoyed, rather than having, and this is a little bit of behind the scenes insider info. Historically, I used to have to hire a third-party labour hire, which was always very hit and miss. They would often turn up late, sometimes not at all, in the event of the Melbourne Money Expo, in which I had a lot of fun setting up the entire event by myself. Fortunately, now I have my good friend Keith from Australian Specialty Coins, who helps me out with his team with the setups of the events. So I couldn't do a highlight video without highlighting that excellent help that I received from those guys. Thank you very much. So with setup complete, I managed to get out to the Perth Mint, which was very exciting. It's, for someone like me, I've been to the Mint a couple of times, but it never gets old. It's always exciting. You always see something that you may not have seen before, and that was a lot of fun. I also managed to catch up with my very good friend Lucas Bowers, who is one of the designers at the Mint. And that, even just saying that, is a little bizarre, to be such a fan of coins and be so involved in the industry, to then be able to say that, I'm now friends with one of the coin designers is a real mind bender. So it was excellent to catch up with you, Lucas, and at some point in time we managed to have a little chat as well on video. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It was a lot of fun, and look forward to seeing that one as well. So Saturday rolled around, the event began, and there was a nice little crowd there waiting to get into the event and get access to the show PNCs. At this event we had the AC/DC pair, and unfortunately we didn't have the Kookaburra with the privy mark from the Perth Mint. There were some delays with Treasury and approvals and that sort of thing, but hopefully that's not an issue moving forward and we can be a little more organised for future shows. But nevertheless, there was a great crowd and the reviews were very positive from all of the dealers in attendance. So it's always exciting to see crowds at these types of events, and particularly worth noting, a lot of younger people turning up to the events. So it was really nice to see what I like to refer to as the next generation of collectors coming through the doors, being encouraged by their parents. So that's a really positive sign and very exciting to see. It feels like a side note, but I can't stress the importance. The coffee was also a hit. This is something that I've struggled with, suppliers. I deal with a number of suppliers for these events, but of critical importance is the quality of the coffee. So I have to give a special mention to, I think they're called Our Girl Ruby or Our Ruby Girl. They were fantastic and provided an excellent quality coffee, and I look forward to working with you guys again in the future. Saturday night was also a great opportunity for a number of dealers to catch up. We all had a big dinner, which was a lot of fun, and it's always nice to get together and discuss the state of the industry and all that sort of jazz. Although I must confess, by the end of the day on Saturday, you wouldn't read about it. I had reached a point where I had had enough of coin talk and was ready to discuss just about anything else. Despite the fact that I absolutely love this industry, every man has his limit of coin talk, and Saturday night I reached that. But it was great company and always nice to chat with all of the dealers. Sunday was a significantly quieter day, but like I've said in the past in these videos, it always represents a good opportunity to have slightly, I guess, more meaningful and substantial conversations with dealers. If you're ever in the market for, acquiring that special coin, or you're just looking for a little more information, the Sundays at the end of shows, particularly in the afternoons, can be a great opportunity to actually sit down at a dealer's table and have a conversation without the hustle and bustle of the crowds. So Sunday was much quieter, but I did hear of some really great conversations taking place, and yeah, it was nice to see dealers getting to do a little bit of business amongst themselves as well, which is always nice. So overall, Perth was a big success. I had a really great time, and like I said, these events are just so nice to catch up with good friends, make new friends, discuss the state of the industry with a number of people that are involved at various levels, as well as just catch up with people. I met some really, really nice people from the Perth Numismatic Society. We were having a conversation and I asked them how they got to know each other, and they said 20 years ago they attended one of the society meetings and they've been good friends ever since. So that's something else that might be worth considering, getting in touch with your local numismatic society and get involved in some of the coin clubs, because it sounds like there's some really great opportunities to make some lifelong friends there as well. Overall, looking forward to Sydney in October. I'll put the dates in the description here. That'll be at the Lower Town Hall in Sydney, and the shows are going really well and having a blast. I'm very, very exhausted, but having a great time, and I wouldn't be anywhere else. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.